Hello, Knights of the Rolled Table. We have more bonus episodes for you today. This time we have Diedre and Igneous, which were recorded on separate days. We have our last bonus episodes will drop in 2 weeks, and that will be Chris's two characters, Biscuit and Carver. Jarek and Sarsa had bonus episodes back in Season 2, so feel free to go back and check those out. But Sarsa and, for a second, Jarek actually make a little bonus appearance towards the beginning of this episode. We hope you enjoy these. These are some of my favorite things that we do on the podcast. Lots of fun. Next week we'll be back at a regular episode, which I'm sure you're eager to hear if you are caught up on the podcast. Hope you're doing well. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, and make life an adventure.
To the Rolled Table to another bio episode.
Woohoo! Hey!
Tonight we are talking with the whole cast of Season 4. We have Chris Daly.
Yes.
Jen Stopper Crespo.
Sup?
Matt Messerman.
Hello.
Carlos Guzman.
Heyo.
And our special guest tonight, Zach Stones.
Hello, everybody.
Bow, 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 bow.
Now, Zach, in Season 4, you play two characters. One we're familiar with, and a new one.
Correct. I'm playing... I'll introduce them. I'm playing Jarek, Dark Harbor, everybody's favorite Dark Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is he, though? Is he?
Not just Jarek Dark Harbor. Jarek Dark Harbor.
He's my second favorite Dark Harbor.
Yep. And Igneous, who I don't think I ever gave a last name to, Igneous. And so Jarek has a bio episode back there in Season 2 you can listen to, and lots of
That's
episodes.
Right.
So
lots of Jarek content on this podcast stream. Zach, you've been a featured player on this before, but for new listeners joining us, what do people need to know about you, the person, Zach Stone?
Oh, what do you need to know? Nothing. What do you need to know
Okay,
about
next
me?
question.
I mean, in real life, I'm a father of 3 and a mental health clinician, and I keep busy. Pandemic-wise, we've hung in there, and I've actually had weird moments recently where I, didn't really have anything to do. I had things to do, but there wasn't, something, pressing down on me that I absolutely urgently needed to do because it was due soon, which one of those things is usually, editing a podcast, and Jeff is taking care of that, so it's been a little bit weird. I've, read books and things, I've hung in there. More fortunate than most.
In Season 4, you've introduced a new player, Igneous.
Yes.
And they're an unusual race. Tell us a little bit about Igneous.
Igneous is a Phoenixborn out of the Ancestry and Culture supplement, the extra one, More Ancestry and Cultures. I'm not sure what it was called, but Phoenixborn was a race of people who kind of worship the phoenix and have fiery plumes, not fire in their eyes, plumes of red phoenix feathers as hair. And those are kind of their phoenixy things. It's not like a bird person, as people have implied.
No.
But that's going on, and they have phoenixy kind of fire abilities. They know some spells and things like that. And I chose that as that kind of sounded like what we vaguely referred to in Season 1 as fire troops. I thought he could be one of those troops that came over with Lord Charkandris, and he was kind of a scout out there. Wasn't around when the base got attacked, and then he got stuck there, and so he's kind of like a refugee from that army. And that would be, what we can talk about more in his history is that's the culture that Sindel is originally from on the Fire Realm side.
So tell us about what Igneous's life was like before the events of Season 1.
Yeah, to be completely honest, the genesis of Igneous was Jeff came to, in planning Season 4. Jeff was it would be really good to carry some of the characters that we know forward. So would you be interested in playing Jarek? I was like, yeah, I'd love Jarek. And so that'll be the main character. And he was also like, I need everybody to create another character. And I took that very much as like, oh, in case your character dies, or maybe we'll do like a one-shot little thing with these side characters. And so I didn't necessarily put Igneous together with the notion of like he was going to be like a whole season arc. But here we are. So there's some details to flesh out even for me here. I think in the Fire Realm, it's hot.
Okay, good start.
A lot of fire is around. I think my kind of notion, and we can kind of create it as a group a little bit, but my kind of notion of these like Phoenixborn people is like the Phoenix is their like god entity kind of thing, but it's also like a mantle, like it like a lot like the Black Panther concept is like it's like this mantle that like connects to a mortal person, and that's where Sindel is. So they worship this kind of like Phoenix concept, but also there's a human that's connected to the royal family that has that power, and right now that turns out to be Sindel. And on his side, like in the Phoenixborn people, the kind of like backstory of Lord Charkandris vaguely that exists is like there was a royal family, and so there was a king and queen, and Sindel would have been their daughter, and then the evil brother of the king, which was Lord Charkandris, murdered them and took over. And in that like coup, they sent their daughter, their like young infant daughter, off to be safe to the like prime material plane, and that's where she landed with Sora and Cavan, and Charkandris took over and kind of recruited people, and so Igneous would have been one of those kind of like commoners of the Phoenixborn people that were recruited into Charkandris's army and kind of conscripted into invading the realms, and there he was.
Did Igneous have a family in the fire plane?
Yeah, that's a part I have not thought a lot about. I thought a lot about like what did Igneous do once he was standed, but like, you know, let's, if people want to decide, obviously he did, because everybody has a family, right? I think he was, you know, not necessarily, he doesn't have like a wife and kids or anything back there, but he certainly, you know, had parents and people he knew, and probably people he knew in the army and people he left behind in the Fire Realm. But like all of that just got shut down, and he had to make his way in this kind of like foreign place where also not only is he like not an original resident of like the realms in the material plane, he's also like people know that this fire army invaded, so he's not like somebody people are really like eager to like embrace and be friends with. So he kind of like had to get as far away from Oakhart as possible, because, you know, he kind of moved to somewhere hotter and where word of the fire army invasion wasn't as prominent, to try to make a life for himself a little bit.
Along that path, since he was trapped here in the material plane, were there any notable events that occurred? Anybody that he met? Anybody that made an impression on him, helped him out along his way, or anything like that?
Yeah, probably. You would think there was. I mean, I imagine like he was with some people that he knew, maybe, you know, the salamander people or whatever, when things broke down and he had to make a decision, maybe to like go back and fight, you know, XX Bloody Heart and Maya and crew, or just make a break for it. And he ended up just taking off on his own. So he met some people there. I'm sure he met some people along the way where he had to fit in or lie his way through different encounters. The piece I planned more about Igneous is this like interesting contrast between like a fiery Phoenixborn ancestry and culture and the shadowy, specifically shadowy subclass of the Shadow Monk. And I really like that notion of like light and fire and shadow in one. I think is kind of like fun to play with. But generally in traveling, you like hood, sunglass kind of goggle things. He has to hide himself, lay low. He's good at keeping to the shadows, so he can more or less avoid most people if he needs to. But I think along the way, people have to meet him, or he has to, you know, make his way, either try to like fake his way. He probably did a lot of faking his way as like, yes, I am a humble traveler of these lands, and I have come from the realm south of here, and just kind of like BSing his way through, like trying not to make trouble and just like getting by before he met the other people we met him with, Diedre and Biscuit et al.
Of all the people in the group that Igneous is with, which includes, like you said, Biscuit, Diedre, Arix, and Yenny, do you think there was somebody maybe he met first in that group?
I think there was, because mathematically there would have to be. I think that's interesting to, like, who would be most inclined to be cool with Igneous. Like, Biscuit's just sort of friendly to everybody. I feel like Diedre or Arix would be more suspicious. But Yenny seems pretty easygoing. Like, I'll smash you or I'll hug you, whatever kind of takes my fancy. And Biscuit's also kind of like naive, friendly, cool. So, either or both of them would probably be the most likely candidates to like kind of like fall in with him and be like, all right, come on, whatever.
Okay, well, what if we saw a scene where you meet one of those people? Anybody want to volunteer, or should I just pick someone, or just
I vote for Biscuit because I did a lot of Yenny tonight already.
Deal. Let's see what happened maybe when Igneous and Biscuit maybe met for the first time. Let's set the scene in a tavern in a large city somewhere between Oakhart and Castor City, a smallish town, maybe a mining town full of dwarves and elves coming and going, and a trading hub, so there's many people around. And you find yourself here, Igneous, on a rainy night, looking for lodging, looking for work, looking for something to do now that you found yourself in this small town.
All right, so Igneous comes in the door, wet out of the rain, some hustle and bustle, walks up to the bar and kind of quietly says, "Oh, can I get some of whatever that is on the hearth there?"
You'll have to speak up louder. I can't hear you.
Just a warm meal, if you've got that.
You want
I'll have
food?
some coin here. Yes,
You have to pay for it.
Right, yes, I understand that. And here are some small pieces of metal which I have collected. Here is a brownish one.
That's a copper.
Nope. Yes, copper.
Are you trying
yes,
to pay me with a copper? Because that is not what food costs here.
Of course not. Here is a kind of whitish, silvery one.
That's a silver. It's
what,
silvery because it's silver.
Silver. Yes. All right. Well, will a silver buy me?
That will buy you too much. You cannot eat that much food.
Oh.
You're gonna have to split the difference. Do you have a friend? Do you have a friend who's gonna eat with you?
Or could I get like a bed or something for it? Could I sleep here?
Do you want the food in the
Not
bed?
with you.
You want me to put the food in the bed? That's what you're asking me to do.
Would that be like a normal thing to
No,
do here,
it would
or
not
would you
be
be
normal.
Okay? So I don't want that. No. You're being sarcastic.
I am
so
not.
No, just the
I am
food
just
and then the
asking
bed.
questions, okay?
Yes. Okay.
Hold on there, friend.
Hello.
Listen, it sounds like he's a couple of hens short of a coop, so I think maybe I can help out. Hi there, dark and shadowy. My name's Biscuit.
Hello.
I'm a gnome.
Igneous. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Listen, barkeep. I think my friend here just wants something to eat. Maybe you can just. I have some food I already ordered, so maybe you can just split what I had, because normal person portions are a little bit bigger than what I can handle. Let's face it. So being a gnome and whatnot. So why don't you just I'll give him some of my food, and you can give him that there copper piece, and get a drink for yourself.
So you're gonna share a plate.
Yes,
You're
sir.
gonna need 2 plates. Do you want a smaller
Yes, sir.
one or the same size?
Yeah, if you have a child-sized plate, that'll do.
There's no children allowed here, but there are smaller people.
Well, I'm not
who
a child.
resemble children.
I'm a full-grown gnome. I just look small. So maybe you just give us 2 plates, and we'll take care of the separate. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take it from there.
I'll grab it from the back. I leave.
Thank you.
Boy.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. Some people just don't understand semantics, you know. I knew what you were saying. You got money, and you were trying to get something to eat.
Yeah.
So, do you understand what money is?
These little metal things. That's money. And you buy food and lodging and other things at a rate that seems to be highly variable from realm to realm, and perhaps DM to DM.
Sure. Well, I mean, what was it? Igneous? Igneous. I'm just gonna call you Iggy for short.
Iggy is fine.
Listen, well, you can call me Biz. Nice to meet you.
All right, Biz.
That's what my family calls me, Biscuit. Biz. So where are you from? You don't sound like you're from around here. You don't understand the ways or the money. You look a little, might I say, handsome.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, I am from not around here. I am from...
And just as you're about to explain that, over in the corner, you hear a group of people. They're kind of getting all worked up together, and then finally hear, but seriously,
No,
another
calm down.
round for our heroes who fought back those terrible fire monsters all the way back in Oakhart. Our boys gave them hell, and let's hear it for them again.
Yeah.
Huzzah!
Yeah, I hate those fire people.
I don't like
Hey,
They're
fighting the fire monster.
Some of the locals are celebrating. I'm not from around here either, so I heard tell there was a bit of an invasion from like a plane of hellfire or something like that.
I don't even cook with fire anymore.
Yeah, some people really swear it off. They made themselves hats that's like no fire for us and make the world safe again and all that stuff.
I know nothing about this. This is foreign to me, and I am just a humble traveler.
Right. So you were about to tell me where you're from?
Oh,
Here's the food.
You know.
I did not put it into 2 separate plates. It's all on one plate. You have
we'll
to
take care of that.
You
2
have
spoons,
to
maybe.
I'm real good at math.
All
It's
right.
all up in my head here. So we'll take care of that. You
Enjoy
know what?
your
It doesn't
pot
matter where
pie.
you're from because everybody's from the town of Hungary. So let's get started.
Everybody's
Right.
from somewhere.
Where?
Well, me personally, I got a lot of brothers and sisters. Do you have any family, Iggy?
Well, yeah, I have a family, but I don't see them much anymore. I'm pretty much out here on my own, and just
You
kind
struck
of.
me as a wanderer.
I am. I honestly don't quite know where I'm going, and just someplace warm and looking for work or someplace to earn a little bit more of these coins.
Yeah, you know what I'm doing is I'm heading to this place called Castor City. It's it's supposedly like a mecca for lots of different travelers and everything like that. I mean, around here they only got like mining and stuff like that. So if you want to work underground and get all coal ridden and whatnot, I mean, you could stay here. But if you want to come with me, I could use a traveling companion. The road gets mighty lonely sometimes for a gnome, and you would be able to get people's attention a lot faster than I have been able to.
Well, yeah, that sounds real good. I'd appreciate that really much. I've been pretty lonely since I had a falling out with my friends, and that sounds real nice. Yeah, I'm good at sneaking about and fighting if I have to.
Oh, you like to fight? You gotten some scrapes? What's the biggest thing you fought with?
Fought with against?
Against, yeah.
There was I did have a bit of a scrape with one of them fiery salamander guys
yeah.
back there.
They're pretty nasty, huh?
Yeah.
Hot stuff, huh?
Yeah. we had a bit of a falling out.
Did I just hear you lot said you fought one of them salamanders?
Oh, we got a veteran over here.
We
Hey,
got a veteran. Let's get this man a
Yeah, this guy with the goggles here. He said he fought a fire salamander.
We don't like fire
The
here.
worst.
That's probably where he's wearing the goggles, because he got blinded by all the fire that was coming off of the salamander.
I have a condition, an ocular condition. I have to wear these.
Oh, you're a hero.
If anybody wants to buy him a drink, you could totally do that, because
Several. Buy this man a little bit of lager.
Hey, tell us your story.
In a lot of detail and use first names, it makes it more interesting.
Oh, well, it was nothing really. I just, perhaps it was maybe a different salamander than you were talking about there, but...
Biscuit cast Minor Illusion, and it sort of a little kind of puppet two-dimensional version, hologram of Igneous pops up, and this gigantic, like... enormous salamander, and he's like fighting him, and you see the salamander just go like explode and make it kind of as he's narrating.
Did you guys see that?
So it was mostly like that. Look in the pictures. I kicked him, and that was it. Yep, no,
wow,
that's
he's
it.
a proper hero.
And
he
he hurt my eyes, and I had to wear these goggles, and burned off my hair. And so I had to wear this hood, and that's all there is. Well, let's go to sleep, everybody.
Well, now, hold on a minute. Look right there on the inside of his coat.
Nope.
You'll see he's got a patch right on there. What kind of patch is that you got there, son?
Oh, man, Crothers, you're always obsessed with people's patches.
What's the
I'm
patch?
telling you, he's a fireman. He's from the fire plane. Look on the side. He's got a patch in there.
I hurriedly pull the little cloak over the patch.
No, he's
Still
not.
wearing bits of my uniform.
He's not on fire.
Oh, it's
so
not.
He's not a fireman.
Yeah. So I found this
Maybe
somewhere
that's what
on the
he
ground.
took off of all the people he's killed.
I took it
Yeah.
off the salamander. That's what it is. I got this, and it happened to fit real well. So it's kind of like a trophy.
Wait, do the salamanders wear jackets?
This one did, because he was cold.
Oh.
It's probably hot in the fire realm, so they come over here. They go bundle up.
This guy's smart. Guys, this guy's smart. Get him an ale.
And him the gnome. Look what he's drinking. Water. The water people, they attacked that town, remember? He's one of them.
Listen, we might need to leave a little bit early from this situation. It might not go exactly well.
I say we get him. Let's run
Maybe
out
we
of
could
here,
take this
boys.
stew to go.
Yeah, well, maybe we get our stew. Gosh, I don't. Maybe I could cast a fireball and blow everybody up, but that might be a little suspicious.
Bad idea. No fire. Not going to
right,
make things better. Maybe we could
But
just sleep out
he
the
said
back.
fire there. I heard him say fire.
Here's a fireball. I heard that.
Hey, can you just start some sort of a distraction?
Hey, look, everybody, and I'll cast dancing lights, and they kind of are swirling around the top, like where the kind of chandelier would be, and they're just going doop 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 doop, and they're these little like pumpkin shapes or something. They're just like pumpkin lights. I'm like, look at them pumpkin lights up there, man! Have you ever seen something so amazing?
When he does that,
lights?
I pick up Biscuit
What?
and shove him in my cloak, and just like disappear into the shadows and sneak out the back door while they're looking at the dancing pumpkin lights.
Ooh, oh my god.
Oh, free food.
We pop in the back alley.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's perfect.
Let me out of this cloak.
I got so much time for like that little bromance there.
And that's the rest of the story.
And now you know the rest of the story.
Jen Stopper Crespo.
Hey, that's me.
Yay!
You play two characters in season 4.
I do?
You do. You play Sarsa Demisalt, which we all know and love.
Do we?
Oh, Sarsa.
Oh, Sarsa.
Give me some whiskey.
I'm surprised y'all didn't rope me into doing something for St. Patrick's Day with her.
Oh, missed.
Why don't you do
opportunity.
Opportunities.
Next
Why don't
year.
you do, Miss Sarsa, are you in the booth? Are you comfortable? So what we need you to do is the read for Petra's Pockets. We just it's a very simple read. We just need you to say.
And you're paying me for this, right?
Absolutely, in 3 bottles of Marquesian whiskey.
And don't skimp on them. Last time you gave me one that was half empty.
Absolutely. So if you could just record into the sending stone, that would be great.
Right, all right. Petra's Pockets. We're magically delicious and full of stuff.
I'm sorry, I laughed. I'll stand outside the booth. That was
Jarek, what are you laughing at me?
I thought it was a good interpretation. That was my bad. Take it again.
I was going to offer to share some of this
and
with
3,
you.
2.
Petra's Pockets. After you eat us, you'll be stuffed.
All right, let's take a 5-minute break and we'll come back to this.
Can I have a prepayment now? All right, and scene.
That's Sarsa's backstory.
That's her current story. Yes,
that's her current.
Where that fits in, we'll have to figure that out. When
where the
that was like after they saved
the KCU.
Yeah,
that was like after they saved stuff and before they got the ship, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to do some advertising?"
Now you also play a new character, Diedre. Tell us about Diedre.
So Diedre is from a very affluent household. She's kind of, I think, as far a cry from my previous characters as I could kind of think of. She was kind of the eldest born, was the exemplary child, high pedigree, definitely an enjoyment of the finer things in life. But ultimately kind of got bored and a little stifled by all of the expectation that came with that. And just kind of started trying to see how much she could get away with, and found that it was fun to just see what buttons she could push. She's always been kind of athletically inclined after years of equine horsemanship, and she's got a very nimble body as well as a nimble mind, and so she just began. It started out as kind of like some dares where she would just see which of her friends' houses she could break into, and what she could get away with, not because she needed anything, but just because it was exciting. And eventually, she just kind of decided that she wanted to break ties with the household and with the pedigree. And really, for her, she's just kind of in search of diversion. She still likes the finer things in life, but she also likes taking them, not necessarily having them gifted to her. So that's kind of her shebang.
And when we meet Diedre at season 4's beginning, how long has she been out doing thievy things in the real world?
I would say she's actually pretty fresh, which is why I think sometimes she's not actually accustomed to like roughing it and stuff. So I think by this point she's maybe been out like, I'd say 3 months or less.
Okay, great. And the group of friends that she had that she was stealing from their houses, how would you describe that friends group?
Like, if you could imagine a group of people that like all go to Harvard and make a point of letting you know that they go to Harvard, those are the people. And
you said that she was the firstborn. How many other siblings does Diedre have?
She has a younger brother. His name is Erickson.
Erickson.
Mm-hmm.
Is your father's name Eric?
Yes.
It doesn't have to be. Okay, Eric. Well, I think we could see maybe with the friends group and you trying one of your first or second or one of your first kind of burglaries that you did. We could also maybe see a scene with your family and the competition between you and your brother.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if her brother was the one that initially dared her to attempt to take something.
Where did Diedre grow up? Was it in a big mansion, a big estate?
It was an old estate on a vineyard.
So we open our scene on the... What's Diedre's last name?
Salenka.
We open on the Salenka family vineyards, rolling hills and the beautiful countryside. Atop it sits the estate held by the family for generations, and here we meet Diedre with her family.
I really don't want to do my lessons today. I've already excelled in Latin, and I'm tired of attempting to learn Orcish. It's such a droll language.
Sweetheart, please, don't give us this attitude of yours. We've had enough. You have to take your lessons.
But Daddy, I don't want to.
I don't want to hear any more of it. Erickson here is the perfect example of someone who does his lessons and shuts up about it.
Well, because he doesn't learn anything in them. He's taking the same lessons for the last 6 months, and he hasn't excelled at all.
I'm finished with today's lessons, Father.
What can you teach me about today's lessons, Erickson?
I've completed them. I've learned much about the vintage of our family grapes, and I have also learned how to command a household and make sure...
He doesn't know the difference between a Blanc de Blanc and a Blanc de Noir.
What is the difference, Erickson?
If you wouldn't mind me looking at my notes, I could return shortly.
Erickson, it's white grapes versus purple grapes. It's literally in the name. Noir is black. Blanc is white. The different forms
All
of
right,
champagne.
I'll return to my studies and shut up.
Daddy.
Yes, dear.
Can we go on holiday again, or something?
The holidays are a long way away. Vintage is barely starting to come in, and you know we gotta be here to supervise. Otherwise, who else is going to do the supervising? It's hard work.
Nothing ever changes here. What about, can you buy me a new dress? You know, Patsy Jenkins down the way. She had a lovely black satin number. I saw it hanging in the window the other night from my
Patsy
balcony.
Jenkins? Her father's a brigand who still owes me 5 copper coins from that one time that I helped pay for that cab fare.
Well, Daddy, perhaps you could ask him to give me that dress. It looks so lovely, and I'm sure it's just my size.
I'll be doing no such thing, Diedre, until you finish your lessons. Now, please excuse me. I need to go powder the dog.
Bye, Daddy. What are you looking at?
I'm just wondering if, while I study, you might, if you really want that dress, if you are as impressive a person as you always say you are, perhaps you could just go get it.
Of course I mean, it's on the second story. That would require a great deal of
second story work.
climbing, and someone would have to figure out how to open the lock. And of course, there is the moral dilemma of taking something that doesn't belong to you, but I suppose if you take it, then it does belong to you.
And you wouldn't want to do that, would you? You would be shunned. If you were caught, you'd be removed from the family.
If I was caught.
If.
If.
Certainly not for me to say. I'm only engaging in my studies. You know so much, and yet I must learn from these books.
Would the master and mistress like any more tea or biscuits?
Ugh, Brindley, no, we're fine. We don't need anything in here. You just brought a tray 10 minutes ago.
All right, I'll go and see about feeding the dogs.
Brindley?
Yes?
Could you perhaps bring me some rope? And...
Rope, my lady?
Yes, some rope. I must bridle the horses. And a nail file. I'm afraid I've a slight hangnail.
She has a hangnail.
Oh, of course.
She must keep impeccable nails. Fetch it at once.
Of course, yes. I'll be right back.
So, Erickson...
I don't see any hung nails upon your hands, Diedre.
Well, I don't see any knowledge in that brain of yours, Erickson.
Correct.
But like it or not, we are siblings. If I were to venture over to the Jenkins estate And if somehow
If.
I could find the means for Patty Jenkins's dress to retire in my possession, could I rely on your discretion, dear brother?
You know what Father says. I do my lessons and I shut up.
Then I think we have an accord, sir. I can assist you with those lessons in return for your discretion.
I couldn't find a nail file, but I found tweezers.
That'll do. And the rope?
Oh, only hempen, not nylon. It's made from a South Marquesian thread, but I believe it will do the trick of whatever you need it to do.
All right. Thank you, Brintley.
Of course.
Brintley, come help this out of the door.
Yes, my lord. Always mucking things up with the dog.
And she goes.
Poor Patty Jenkins. She just wanted to direct Wonder Woman movies, and now she doesn't get her dress.
But Carlos, now I get her dress.
Is it that Gal Gadot dress that she goes to the ball in from Wonder Woman 84? Because that dress is...
What's that Catherine Zeta-Jones cat burglar movie?
Oh,
Entrapment?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's your Diedre.